Okay, let's continue my talk about the transgender agenda that's happening with our children right now. If you even think about what my story was, right, about being a tomboy. So kids go through phases, and these experts, these doctors, these professionals are advising parents that if you have a son that doesn't like to cut his hair, if you have a son that likes to wear pink, if you have a daughter that wears baggy clothes, caps, and likes their hair cut like the boys, that they should be transitioned, okay? They're giving hysterectomies to children of this age, okay? So they think it's best to get things done or get these transitions in motion before they hit puberty. So these puberty blockers, and if you know what this is, it is a type of castration, okay, that they use on pedophiles, right? Think about when this became normal, right? Before, and it wasn't very long ago, that parents would be taken to court for this. Kids would be removed from their homes for this, and doctors could be prosecuted for this. And if you think about when it became normalized, think about even in Hollywood, how we see all these actors and actresses coming out as trans. That wasn't a thing before. Did it happen? Yes, there were always models and actors and actresses that were trans, but it wasn't broadcasted, right? It wasn't very normal either. You would see it very sparsely, very sparingly, because in fact, most people or most individuals and children that think that they're transgendered or in the wrong body have body dysmorphia, okay? So it should be treated like a mental illness. And it is very rare that there's actually somebody that needs to do a full transition, okay? Hollywood has been pushing this. If you even look at the NBA and all of the most famous players, their children, you see multiple of their children, Gabrielle Union, and their children are transgendered, right? And it's fully publicized, and I'm not even sure if that's healthy. They want to be looked at as like these fully supportive parents, and with the now, and we're hip, and we're doing, look, they want to placate to the LGBT. And the thing is, they don't understand that they're just looking like idiots, to be honest. They're looking like total morons, allowing society to pressure them into what to do with their children. It's a trend, okay? Why do you think so many kids didn't even understand about being gay? It was something that maybe we learned when, we became aware of these things, maybe when we were in middle school, right? Because that's when people start to identify and find their own sexuality, right? And they start to express that on their own. Nobody needs any help. Nobody needs any push. Nobody needs any encouragement. Nobody needs anyone to tell anyone that this is how you identify. And if you didn't want a haircut for 3 years, or you wanted to grow your hair all the way down your back, that means you are transgender. Nobody needs that. Anyone that really naturally feels that way will figure it out on their own, okay? Would you ever push or promote somebody that has schizophrenia? No, you would get them help, right? So it is an agenda. It is happening, and like I said, they're targeting the children as young as they can get. I've seen a lot of clips from preschools where teachers or preschool teachers, early childhood learning, they're already introducing this to them, okay? They're talking about their own sexuality with their students, and that is already inappropriate. Nobody should be telling my child, think about it. Nobody should be telling our children, oh, this is what I think. I feel like I look like a lady, but really I'm not a lady, right? Or I look this way and I have a wife. Why do the kids even care? And why are you talking to the kids about this? They don't. You're giving attention to children. That's all it is. It's the kid sees it as a way to get attention, right? And kids want to please the adults in their life, and so they feel like if they talk about it, or if they listen, or maybe even if they say they are too, then they'll get that same attention or extra attention, right? Or favored. And you're just warping a child's brain is what you're doing. Hollywood is Hollyweird, and it's been that way since the beginning of time. And yes, they do also use the big star athletes the same way as they use the Hollywood stars. Okay, so they are also pushing agendas, and I see that they do push the race things too. We are sports fans. Nobody wants to watch a race agenda happening, right? We want to watch sports. When you turn it on, that's what you want to see. That's a whole different issue, but yes, it's just continuous propaganda, and they're finding every single way to filter it into your life and filter it into your brain, right? So whether you're on social media, whether you're watching a movie, whether you're watching sports, it's coming here, right? And the same thing is happening with your children. So I've heard kids as young as 5, as young as 8, claim that they're gay, or claim that they think that they might be a girl. And you know what? They're confused because they see all of this stuff going on online. And also because they see it as a trend. Okay, it's being so embraced, and it's being so promoted, and everyone that does it gets all this praise for doing it, right? And like Caitlyn Jenner got like that award for becoming a trans. Really? And then we also have to think of this. Do you have daughters? Because if you have daughters that play sports, what is going to happen to their chances in those sports teams or for those scholarships? Will the natural born female always be second place to a transgendered female? Yes, of course. It's a proven fact that the male body is built different. Males are faster, stronger, right? They'll just outdo women in sports every single time. So it doesn't give the natural born females a fair fighting chance. That number 2, that person that's constantly number 2 to the transgender female, is actually number 1. And they're having that stolen. And how far will it go? Will the entire female soccer team one day be only transgendered? Will there be no more natural born females getting athletic scholarships? It's a major issue, you guys, and people really need to start talking about it. And you don't have to hate the transgender and the LGBT community to speak out against what's happening, right? I love transgenders. I've been to drag shows. I have a gay best friend. He looks like a Gucci model. Okay. But even he knows, even anyone that is sane up here, no matter what they identify as and no matter what their sexual preference is, knows that no child needs this introduced to them, right? That these lines are being crossed and that they're not good. They're not good. And can we undo them? No. We have people that get completely transitioned and are very unhappy, depressed, can't go backwards. What about those supportive parents, right? What about the Gabrielle Unions? And what about all these people that are like looking like the best parents ever because they stand by whatever their kid wants to do? If your kid wanted to stay out all night, would you let them? If your kid wanted to only eat sugar, would you let them? If they wanted to drink alcohol, if they wanted to do drugs, you're talking about something super duper crazy and outlandish that your child is talking to you about. And instead of them getting help for their body dysmorphia, you're encouraging it and you're saying, oh yeah, I think so too. These professionals are saying that babies know that they're in the wrong body. Really? Babies are aware that they're in the wrong body from birth. They're really saying that. So I just wanted to emphasize right now that something needs to be done. Get it out of the schools. When you see a teacher crossing the line and talking about sexuality or sexual preference in the classroom or in the school at all, isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that they prohibit prayer in school? They stopped you from pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. They banned that. They banned prayer. But they promote sexuality. Anyone talking about sexuality with a child is a pervert. Okay? Plain and simple. Nobody belongs. That is what I would say is for catch cracks, okay, as we say here. You talk about that with my children, you're gonna catch cracks. You're a pervert, and everybody will also know that you're a pervert and that you're sick in the head and what you're doing. Get involved, get inside your children's classrooms. We can't all afford private educations. My kids came out just fine in the public schools, but they weren't pushing this shit. I was mad when they stopped teaching the kids cursive. I was mad when they changed the style of how kids did math. I was mad about those things. Are people that out of touch? Are people that ingrained in their self? Do people not give a hell what's going on in their child's day-to-day life? You're sending them to school for 6 hours a day. What are they learning? What are they picking up there? What is the message? History is bad, even though it's real, even though it happened. You have to own it. But they won't teach it anymore because it was not acceptable by society's norms. So kids don't know any history. They don't know where they came from. They don't know who got here first and who settled where. They don't understand it. They don't know who fought in the Civil War. They don't know about it. It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate to talk about that. But it's not inappropriate to encourage someone else's child to identify as a different gender, or to tell them they think they're gay. You can't tell anybody what they are. They will find out naturally. So cut the shit. Cut it out. If you're a teacher, if you work in a school, whistleblow that shit. Put it on blast. Let people know what's really going on. It's the only way that it'll stop.